my favorite thing to do is get really high, not sleep for like 8 hours, and then start Googling whether or not I have autism. Is that anybody else? A lot of my family has autism, like a lot. Like I'm starting to get suspicious that nobody's told me yet, because like it's not like a yes or no question anymore. It's a spectrum. So you're probably some percentage autistic if it runs in your family. And yeah, like I don't know, I probably got 15% because I'm feeling real awkward right now. Everyone's talking about it, and I don't like it. I don't know if you guys know autistic little kids, but they say very offensive things at the worst times. It really hurts real bad when it happens. And I don't know how, they roast the shit out of you without trying. So I just moved up to New York from Miami last August, and my little brother, he came to visit me. And the first thing that little fucker says when he walks into my new apartment is, "Wow, Micah, this is much smaller than your last place." Yeah, bitch, I know. I used to live in a 3-bedroom condo in Miami Beach. Now I'm in a 400 square foot crack house. Okay? Like, it didn't have to be said. It could be felt. You're sleeping on top of me in a bunk bed. Like, he wasn't done with me though. He kept going. After that, he like whips around and he sees my new cat. And for those of you that don't know, once you've had a cat for like 6 or 7 years, you just spontaneously get a new cat. They start to self-replicate. So he sees my new cat, he whips around, looks me deep in the eyes, and he says, "Micah, why do you adopt such a young cat? Now when Toby dies, the new one's going to be depressed for the rest of its life."
That's got a point.
The thing is that logic is fucking infallible. I haven't stopped crying about it for the last 4 months. Toby is 9 years old. I already paid for his funeral. Like, I got big ass titties, and it's been a problem my whole life. I don't know if you guys can notice. Like I would like to wear boxy, like square shirts. It's rough. Like in middle school, a lot of guys would ask if they could titty fuck me, and I didn't know what to say because I was like sexually curious. So like I didn't have anything else going on, so I kind of like thought about it for a second. But like I don't know, it sounded like a recipe for like a lot of chafing. Like I don't know, like where's the lube coming in? I don't know. It didn't feel right. But I realized like my titties, they're an ever-present part of my life, and like I was in a relationship for 7 years. Things got pretty serious. We were engaged, but I realized like we had irreconcilable differences. The main one being that when I would stick my big ass titties in her face, she wouldn't do anything with them. And it's like I'm telegraphing what I want here. Like I just want to be wanted. Like put my nipple on your tongue one time, bitch. Like come on, it's not that hard. Like that the oldest woman in the world just died. No? You're all stupid? No one listens to NPR? Well, she did just die. She was 110. And that is pretty fucking old, right? That's pretty old. But like personally, I want to nominate my great grandma. It's like an honorary nomination, but she died last year at 101. But here's the thing, guys. She lived in Cuba her whole life, so that's got to count for extra credit, right? Like imagine if the bitch had food to eat. She'd be pushing like 124 easy. Like, I can say that. Okay, I didn't put the embargo in place. I can say that. Okay. It's not my fault. Whoever's fault it is, it's not my fault. Anyway, no, I am Cuban. That shocks a lot of people. Mostly Cuban people, to be honest. But this is just what full assimilation looks like. You know, like colonization complete. They got the job done. I'm one of you now. I am a young Caribbean man, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. I live in Flatbush, Brooklyn, with my people. Other young Caribbean people. I went to a really, really hippie, like white liberal arts college where nobody wore shoes but only talked about critical race theory all day long and they're going to solve the problem by themselves. And it would come up a lot, like, Micah, how Hispanic are you? And I never really knew how to answer that question because, like, is that how many tacos you eat per week? Because Cubans don't eat tacos, you racist motherfuckers. I came up with something, I think it helps, like, place me on the spectrum. I'm Hispanic enough that I got into college on a full ride Hispanic Heritage Scholarship, but I'm white enough that I failed out my first year because I took the opportunity for granted. Does that make sense? Okay, good. I'm Hispanic enough that after I lost my scholarship, I started selling weed to pay my way through college. I got arrested at gunpoint, and yeah, that sucked. But luckily, I'm white enough that they threw out the charges because they didn't knock on my front door. So it's like a superpower. Yeah, if they don't knock, it doesn't count. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, you gotta try it, guys. It's really awesome. I am really poor, very poor, and New York is not the place to be if you're poor. It's bad. Every time I leave the house, I like take a single breath and $94 left my bank account. I don't know how that works. Does that happen here? Is that everywhere? Is that a Baltimore thing too? Because it's bad. But like, I'm just still trying to figure out like where do you meet people without spending money? Like where do you just talk to new people? Like, it's getting to the point where I'm thinking about joining Bumble BFF, but I just feel like I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for on there. Like, and I'm real neurotic and self-loathing, so I think a lot about like what other people think about my bio. I've got that shit down to a T. You guys ready for it? It would be 420 friendly, looking for a real straight shooter to fill the gaps in my squad. Well, like, I just want to play Warzone. Like, that's all I'm trying to do. But I don't think it's gonna work for me. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. I don't know. You guys hear about the alien hearings that they just had? All that shit. You guys think it's real? You think it's fake? What do you think? You don't care? Me neither, because I got negative $70 in my bank account. That's the main problem I'm having, to be honest. Like, the only thing that makes me real skeptical is like, if aliens do have this advanced technology and they're coming to visit us, why the fuck do they keep crashing? Like, do we got the drunk driving aliens? Like, I don't know much about Baltimore. I've only been here for 2 days. And yesterday I was driving, and I was like pulled up right next to a high school. They were playing a football game. And a kid literally got shot at the football game that I was parked next to, and I just felt like that was a really good example of why I don't leave my house. So thank you, Baltimore. You've encouraged me to not leave the house again for another 6 months. Hopefully I see you on the other side. That's my time.